In this episode, we will be talking about maximizing your farm. We're going to be looking at our game against Quincy Crew at TI main stage. For the laning stage, this lane is kind of like stalemate in a way. I say like Kunkka favored a little bit, but both heroes kind of just usually get what they want. Like you get some farm, you don't really have that much skill potential. Here you can already see the importance of runes. Saksa coming in, helping me out. The lane is not the greatest, so he's already helping me secure the rune. And then it's just about farming. I already know that I want to be like scaling a little bit, and I'm not looking at making any kind of like side lane ganks that would slow down my farm. So it's more about just pushing out the lane. Don't care about him, just push it out, farm, and stacking this camp when you can. And they already blocked our ancient, so I checked it. So it's all about just, maximizing, getting the most out of the map. In this lane, there's like kind of no chance for either of us to get any kills on this lane. So it's more about just maximizing, stacking. This is still blocked, but it's all about just getting the most out of it. Like, and the side lanes, like I don't feel like going here. It's like it takes me way too long to get there, and the risk is that most likely they will know that I'm gonna be there because it takes a long time. This guy will inform his teammates that this is happening, and I don't want to take the risk of like falling down too much just for one kill, and I want to take it more safe, get the farm, and just try to scale. So I'm just thinking about, scaling, getting bigger, getting my levels, and eventually the plays will start happening naturally. Don't have to force them. I mean, here we see like they're trying to invade or triangle, which is what a lot of people will do. So obviously you want to protect the areas where you have your farm and all that. In this game I decided to just go for Kaya San's first item because I'm playing against a Lion and Mag. I think the status resistance is really crucial in this game. And I feel like with the Kaya Sans I can be more of a front line for our team, go in, like tank a couple spells and be more like survival. Like I can survive, maybe I can survive a Hex, Blink Hex from Lion if I have Kaya Sans. Most people might buy like Yules and whatnot, but this game I don't see a reason why would I buy Yules. Because we already have a couple stuns to set up and I just want to be able to scale also. If I go Yules, my scaling is kind of slowed down a lot. So ideally I find an item that allows me to fight while also allowing me to scale into the later stage of the game. And I feel like Kaya Sans is like a perfect item for that. In some games I would like consider going Boots of Travels when the game is slow like this. But this game we have Nature's Prophet in the team who is allowed to push all these lanes freely while having the teleportation always ready. So I don't feel the need to like double down on the travels and like being able to play the map so hard. Because I feel like this Prophet will be doing it for the most part this game. So I'm more looking at just finding the most efficient items for the fight that also allow me to scale. And I feel like with Kaya Sans and then going into Aghanims after that, I can see the team fights being like much easier for a team. But if I went for the travels, it might delay the Aghanims timing by like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and it might be a little bit too late at that point. So as you guys can see, the game is like very stable, very stale. There's not really much going on. So there's a small fight here and there, but there's not like really big like 5-on-5 clashes anywhere. And that's kind of what we want to do with our heroes. We don't want to have like a 5-on-5 into Mag and the Phoenix and the Kunkka and the Wukong from Monkey. So we just want to keep applying this side lane pressure and try to find like favorable trades. And it's kind of the game plan we have at this point of the game. We need to get into our bigger items and when we feel like strong enough to take proper 5-on-5 fights. Like here you can see just like poking them, trying to force reactions and keeping the side lane pressure going. It gives a lot of information and like it puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team also. Like they might be worried that they cannot push this lane out with one hero only. Like what if there's one guy behind also? And then we might just get a kill on anyone. You know, couple rough fights again, like they get a pick off here and there. But we're just like, keep it cool, keep farming, don't mind too much. So here I see a fight happening bottom. Like we are thinking that we might be able to turn this. We don't think there's that many heroes here. But Sepp ended up dying like right away, so it's kind of hard to get the fight going. So I already see that this is not happening. This fight is not happening. So ideally I don't want to be on this bottom area of the map because this is kind of their place where they have been putting vision down and we cannot really deboard everything. So I just want to get back to the top lane as quickly as possible because that's where the most farm we can get safely and also applying tier 2 pressure, which might get us a TP or 2 into the top lane and then we might be able to like get back this bottom area of the map, which is like kind of important. We get a D-ward and I'm just playing on their side of the map, like making sure they don't get too much out of, like too much information or anything. Right away after dying and respawning, I just TP top right away. Don't think about anything else. Keep this lane pushed in. Try to make sure the game, like, we can like drag it on for longer because we kind of need more time. Our heroes are not strong enough to fight into their 5-man team fight yet. So just looking to get the items, look for the right fights when we can find them. And other than that, just keep pushing these lanes in. Yeah. At the same time, you always have to be looking. Like if your team is taking a fight and it starts looking like good, then obviously you wanna like help your team TP in, see what happens, but always keeping in mind like you might not wanna fully commit to this. Like you might wanna just take it a bit slow, see what happens. Maybe you find a kill or two, but trying to like, you know, stay alive. Be annoying as possible, as annoying as you can. And then you see me right away. There's a fight bottom. I right away run top again because this is the area we want to play in. Here you can see now at this point we have two heroes dead. And we already have the Roche control, and we feel like starting to poke the Roche and like kind of just seeing what happens, like how do they react to this play, and we got a really good like play out of it because they ended up skewering our Nyx, which is like dream scenario for us. We get a chains down on 2 cores and we get a free kill. And now they start pressing all their spells. At this point, it's like we need to like back out. There's no way to fight all these spells yet. We're not strong enough for this. So I like the way we take these fights. We just like get a pick off, like force their spells, and then just immediately get out. And here one crucial moment of the game. We got this really big ward that allows us to see pretty much everything on their side of the jungle. So I feel like I have the freedom to kind of like do whatever I want right now. Their mag is dead, and this monkey is almost dead. He cannot connect. So I feel like if my fight condition is like if I kill the lion, they don't really have any way to kill me. that's like their only chance to kill me is like blink into Hex and chain stun me to death. So my like priority is always to kill this Lion first. That's the way for me to play the game. And now it's a lot about just playing on this board that we have and don't let them deward it. And we get two good kills out of it. I mean, let's say I don't have the axe, then obviously plays like this are kind of impossible because I cannot burst the Lion without him getting the Hex on me. And also the Kaya Sans allows me to have so much more magic damage, like 16% spell damage, it's so much burst on this hero. And like, let's say I had Yules and Axe, then you give you go in and Yules, you give them 2.5 seconds to already to react, and then it might already be like too late. You might get the kill, but you might die for it. But this build is like you go in, you get top one guy, and you straight away get out. Like they don't have time to react. And you're also like much more safe from, like let's say you get Torrent, it's only gonna, or RP, it's not gonna last that long. Even if you kill the Lion and they get an RP on you, there's a high chance you're not gonna die. So that's why I really like the Status Stress from Kaya Sans and the Spell Lamp. Now it's all about, so you can see we're always playing on the top side of the map, keep pressuring these buildings and this lane, so we might be able to get some information. And it always gives information, like when you see these treants and these creeps hit this building, like you know they're somewhere as a 5, like maybe they're in our jungle, maybe they're ganking our Prophet right now. So it gives a lot of information. And we almost get a tower for free, they even use Cliff for it, and they didn't do anything. So they sneaked the Rose from us, which is quite annoying, of course, but it's not the end of the world. So again, we're playing with our ward. Like, even though it feels like they're much stronger, we still need to have like some sort of map control. We cannot just like stay in our side and like give them everything. Otherwise, the lead will get out of control really fast. And here we get a like perfect fight because of this board. They get the Rose, but we're not too scared. Like we still like stay clear that any fight is ours if you have good vision and good jump. So yeah, and the thing with like you taking a fight on their area, and even if you lose the fight, it takes them way too long to start pushing these towers and going here. There's a chance that you might just lose like 1 tier 2, even if the fight goes horribly wrong. Instead of if you, let's say you take a fight here or here, they might just end the game if you lose a fight. So there's much less risk in fighting in like their side of the map. Also, if you have vision on there, of course you have to have like idea where the wards are and all that. So usually it's like the place to be, like no matter what, even if you're behind or you have less team fight, you want to control an area on their side of the map. Usually what happens after a team fight, like a big team fight like this, usually always what happens is people start splitting up. They have to start pushing these lanes out, and then it's like really easy for me to decide what I'm going to do next. Like if I start pushing this lane in, I know they're not going to be here. They have to start splitting up. They have to push these lanes in, they have to push these lanes in, and we still have wards on them. So I just want to keep applying this pressure. And also because they may have just TP'd to this fight, now it's really hard for them to get back here. So it's really big pressure on them. As you can see, they need like 3 heroes to get this area back now. They just like run back and forth. This is kind of their only play they have when we keep pushing these lanes in. They have to come here and like force the 5-on-5 fight on us. It's kind of still, they got the pick on the Luna, which is really good for them. And again, you see what my plan in the fights is. Always go on the Lion. Like no matter what, this guy has to die. Otherwise, like my fight is pretty hard. Now you see we lost the fight, and it was on our side of the map, which is kind of scary. They could maybe get a Rex here, but I think we end up defending somehow with the ET. End up getting a Aegis kill on the monkey, and they have to get out. At the same time, we were pushing top, and this is all because of the constant pushing this lane. Like constantly keep this lane in the base, so it always gives us a play. Like if they push, we can always do this instead. We don't necessarily have to take the fight on them. We can always just force them back. I mean, this game, obviously, plays like this are much easier with the Nature's Prophet, but I could be also doing this with just having a bunch of travels, keeping this in. I mean, I was kind of doing it this game, just pushing this lane in, but I don't have the travels, so it's not as efficient as it would be with travels. But let's say I had travels and I can always keep this lane in and always connect to the fight. And I can also play on this side with travels, and then I can TP right away to here and keep pressuring these buildings. So, but this game, I don't see it necessary. But some games, it's a really strong play to buy travels and keep pushing these lanes in. This is where you can see like how all the scaling and keeping the lanes pushed and all this, how important it is. Like I haven't been like AFK farming this game. I've been always doing something kind of useful, pushing these lanes, getting information, like being annoying and all this. But at the same time, I've really been focusing on getting my items. And you can see I'm on net worth. I'm the same net worth with the Kunkka, a little bit higher than Suneli even this game, which is kind of, usually that doesn't happen, but sometimes it can happen. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And it's kind of the crucial fight of the game. I'm really fat this game. I have like E-Blade, Aeon Disc, Kaya Sans, and Aghanims. And you can see like what I can do with all these items, like how much it actually impacts the fights. Like our team is like really far away from the fight. It's just me and Saksa. But with all these items, I feel like I can just jump into 4 heroes, don't care, force spells out, force their BKBs, and just get out of the fight. Like this is game winning basically. Like you force so much stuff from them, you don't lose anything, and then you just go straight back in, and they don't have anything to deal with you anymore. Like if I don't have the Aeon Disc, if I don't have the Kaya Sanj or any of this item, like one of them, if I just have like 3k less net worth, if I don't have the Aeon Disc, like all these plays are not possible. Like I might have to wait for like Sunail to go in and force them to use spells on him instead of using them on me. So some games it's really crucial to like keep scaling, get these items that you know are gonna highly impact the game. So things to remember from this game is like always keep in mind your scaling and the map pressure, and like while you're scaling, try to like make stuff happen on the map at the same time. Like push these lanes instead of farming your side of the jungle or whatever it is. Go to their jungle, get some information, maybe see their support or two, and then your carry also feels much more safe on the map while you are also farming their jungle and pushing these lanes in. So that's what you really need to keep in mind if you want to scale efficiently.